Let's look live now at the U.S. Senate floor. Republicans are setting up a test vote to pay essential workers as the government shutdown hits 23 days. And by essential, we're talking about active duty military men and women, those air traffic controllers and some of their staff who support them, like the engineers and the technicians, and law enforcement, the people who keep us safe. The vote comes a day after Senate Democrats blocked a House-passed funding bill for the 12th time. That was yesterday. The second highest ranking House Democrat, Katherine Clark, said the quiet part out loud. Here's what she told Fox News, that the pain of families feeling, or that they're feeling during the shutdown, is being used as leverage.
I understand the math in the Senate. I understand the health care position from the Democrats. No responsibility on the Democrats, or at least you don't think that the public will perceive that the Democrats are responsible.
I mean, shutdowns are terrible, and of course there will be, you know, families that are going to suffer. We take that responsibility very seriously. But it is one of the few leveraged times we have. It is an inflection point in this budget process where we have tried to get the Republicans to meet with us and prioritize the American people.
The but, right? My mom taught me that whatever came before it, you didn't really mean it. So when she says she cares, but she's got political leverage, it's the after the but that counts. Meanwhile, Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman is calling out his own political party for punishing hardworking Americans.
I'm a country over party guy. I'm always going to vote to pay our military over the party. I'm always going to vote to pay the Capitol Police here versus over the party. So for me, it's a core responsibility here as a senator to keep our government open, and I'm never going to vote to shut our government down. And I don't care if it's the Republicans or Democrats, whatever, it's wrong.
Lisa, he must be the loneliest Democrat in Congress.
So I just want to apologize to him. I used to think he was such a liberal. I've said so many things about him, particularly when he was running initially for Senate. I even didn't like the fact he wore sweats. But now I kind of like it. If you want to show up in boxers, you do your thing, Senator Fetterman. He's the only man with common sense on the left. But you look at these shutdown fights, you win when you have the easiest argument to sell. And if you look at Republicans right now, they're giving Democrats the option to continue to pay federal workers, which they'll inevitably vote against. They've also given them now 12 chances in the Senate to vote to keep the government open at funding levels that they previously supported just a few months ago. Democrats are on record 13 times under the Biden administration of supporting continuing resolutions, right? So they've done it before. There's no reason for them not to be doing it now. I'll also point out that, you know, unfortunately, when we saw the longest shutdown in 2019, it ended because you had ground stops at LaGuardia by the FAA, and then you ended up having thousands of flights delayed, and I think something like 650 cancellations. So unfortunately, you might have to get to that point for, you know, Congress and President Trump to get together. The last thing I'll point out is I worked on Capitol Hill in 2013 with the shutdown under Obama, and he made a point to visualize the shutdown and the pain that he was causing by shutting down the national parks, by barricading the World War II memorials. And you see with Republicans right now, they're doing the opposite, where President Trump's trying to make sure the military gets paid, and Republicans in Congress are trying to make sure federal workers get paid.
All right, so John, Capitol Hill explain for me, if you can.
That's impossible.
What is this, like, mysterious leverage that Democrats like Katherine Clark say they've got by making people suffer?
You know, when I saw that scene, and Chad brought it on our program yesterday, I was reminded of the scene from Love Actually, where Natalie accidentally swears in front of the prime minister, and the staff looks at her and she goes, it just came out. Oops, I didn't mean it. Okay. I mean, she said the quiet part out loud, but it dovetails with what Chuck Schumer said. We're in a better position than ever. So
true. But how is that true? Like, what position are they in?
Well, that's a really good question.
With the left-wing radicals.
Do they like being?
They're catering to the base. The base is saying fight, 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 regardless of what happens, regardless of any sanity, regardless of any rationality about actually looking at the issues and examining them and figuring out what's the best way out of this. It's like J.B. Pritzker and Brandon Johnson in Chicago. We know exactly what's happening with illegal immigration, and the residents there are up in arms saying, what are you doing? Donald Trump wants to put in the National Guard to protect the Broadview facility, and J.B. Pritzker, because he wants to run for president, is saying no, 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 no. I mean, you know, it's the old battle of who's got a bigger megaphone, if you will. But that's what it's coming down to here. And it's the same thing between with the Democrats. They want to get health care in. They have been offered a vote on health care. They're not taking
they have health care
up on it. No.
They have it in, because Thune has said, as you were about to
that's what I was saying.
the minute this gets closed, like the very next
He's going to
hour.
offer a vote, but that's not good enough, because they want it in. They're saying that there's this deadline of November the 1st, that open enrollment starts, and that's when the premiums are set.
So in the shutdown.
But every day that they keep it down shut is a day closer we are to November the 1st. So if they really wanted to fix health care, why wouldn't you open it, negotiate? Because I've talked to people who believe that if they were to take a vote on extending the Obamacare tax credits, it would probably pass.
Emily?
Yeah, I hearing them speak so callously and strategically, like it's a chessboard, but knowing that it's American lives. You know, I confirmed with the Secret Service that was here in this building the other day, protecting a faithful public servant. They're not getting paid. We show the ICE agents. They're enduring public ridicule and scorn and assaults by illegal immigrants. They're not getting paid right now. I mentioned the other day that I spent this weekend with many couples, both of whom derive their income from the government. So a mother and a father not getting their paychecks. And that's considered leverage at the behest of the minority whip. I mean, to me, that exemplifies how callous and cruel these lawmakers are. They have two jobs: draft your laws and fund the government. And it is an abdication of their duty that they still enjoy the paychecks they are lucky I pay, when so many of our military and public members of this administration and the law enforcement, et cetera, are not getting their paychecks right now. To me, it's despicable, and no amount of strategizing explains that part away.
Yeah, Emily really is personalizing what this shutdown is doing. There are people that going without paychecks, and that's appalling, which is why I'm so interested in this test vote. So you won't open the government, a clean CR, 13 times of which you voted to do the exact same thing with Chuck Schumer. Well, how will you vote to pay the military and federal workers? I imagine it's just going to be Catherine Cortez Masto, a Democrat, along with Angus King, an independent, and then John Fetterman with Republicans. I imagine that's what the vote will look like, which is appalling. Good for you, John Fetterman, who I'll have on this Saturday on Saturday in America, for saying, I will always vote to pay workers. I will always vote. It is rare to have a voice in a party that's willing to exert itself, and he was pretty much the only one doing that. Then you had Catherine coming on board, and along with Angus King. But good for him for doing that. He knows that his constituents matter. And I would just point out, the last time the Democrats flipped a Senate seat, guess when it was? 2022. John Fetterman. Maybe that's the guy you should be listening to.
But they want to kick him out of the party now.
Yeah.
They want a primary.
Look, when Democrats throughout the shutdown say they care about America, it is obvious that they just might not care about the Americans in it.
Well, they don't care more than they hate Trump. They hate Trump more than they care about the country.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.